friends. Thank you so much for sticking with us on ABC 24 Weather Impact Now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Birchett, joined by Meteorologist Daniel McDonald. Meteorologist Kit Thomas took the afternoon off, but he'll be joining us a little bit later for the news at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. We've been in a very active weather pattern here as of late. Seems like we've had off and on days of storms. It was stormy Saturday, dry Sunday, stormy yesterday, dry today, and back to the storms tomorrow. I want to start out with that, the weather impact alert for your Wednesday. Now, we could have showers really at any point through the day on Wednesday, but the time frame I'm going to be watching probably going to be 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. So more of that afternoon and evening time frame. If there's going to be severe weather, I think that's the time frame that it's going to be in. So that's going to be the time that you probably want to pay the most attention. We're looking at a risk of heavy rain, some gusty wind, probably very similar to what many of us saw on Saturday morning with that batch of thunderstorms that rolled in. For most of us, that's all it's going to be. Heavy rain, some high wind gusts, thunder and lightning. But there is a potential for a couple of storms to turn a little bit stronger. That would include a risk of damaging wind gusts, maybe some hail, and a low tornado risk. It is not a huge concern at this moment, but it's springtime, and it's something we cannot completely rule out. So again, a low tornado risk tomorrow, but it's something we're going to watch. Bottom line is secure loose objects. If you have something that might go blowing around, tie it down or bring it inside overnight tonight, because some folks will see some high wind gusts. And of course, just keep an eye on the forecast, because these things can change. They can grow in intensity or weaken in intensity, even with a matter of a few hours. So we'll keep a close eye on that, and we'll keep you updated. Let's get over to the radar. We are finding a couple of showers already out ahead of the main storm system. A couple of us are seeing showers now. We'll check the radar in a bit. But what we're really going to be watching is by the afternoon hours. By tomorrow afternoon, we start to see this storm system set up back along the Oklahoma and Arkansas border, and that kind of develops into this line of storms that then moves in tomorrow evening. So it looks like 4 p.m. Memphis probably getting the heaviest rain and storm activity, and then as that cold front pushes through, those storms will clear out late tomorrow night. Here's the latest storm energy, and I kind of want to show you here. There's a lot of it down to our south, and at least some of it up here in our neck of the woods. Now, that circle that you see on the map, that's just where we've already had some storms come through and eat up the storm energy. So when you have a storm move through that juice, it eats it up. So that's just the radar's way of saying, hey, there's a storm here. It's used up the energy. So there is storm energy to work with, but I do think the higher risk is probably going to be down to our south. They just have a little bit better ingredients down there. Look at 5 p.m. really lighting up down in Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, New Orleans, South Mississippi, as the storms kind of start to clear up around here as that front rolls through. So here's the severe weather risk for tomorrow. Right now, it's a level 2 out of 5. So that's what we had on Saturday. That's what we had on Monday. Overall, that's a pretty low risk. That means a couple of storms could be stronger, but most of them will just probably be plain old rain and some gusty wind. Big time risk area, though, all the way from Houston to Jackson, Memphis, up into the Ohio Valley, Pennsylvania, and D.C., even in that level 2 out of 5 risk for tomorrow. So this is kind of a big time thunderstorm complex that is going to stretch across much of the eastern half of the country. Here closer to home, again, everybody is in that level 2 out of 5. We'll see if that changes. I wouldn't be surprised if they did bump it up, but I think if they did, it's going to be more south of our area, down into central Mississippi, maybe into Louisiana. Outside right now, we are actually finding a few showers here in the Memphis metro area. It's warm, it's muggy, so those showers can just easily pop up. 75, dew point 67, so it is very humid. It definitely has a little bit of that spring feeling out there. Most of us have been dry today, but we're finding a few showers out there. We found a couple out in eastern Arkansas right now. A good little downpour not far from Forest City through St. Francis County, and then some showers also coming in toward the Memphis metro area. Once we put a loop on this, you're going to be able to see kind of how it's moving. It is generally coming toward the Memphis area, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of rain in Memphis in the next hour to hour and a half, but this is not the severe weather that we are really keeping an eye on. That's going to be for tomorrow. There is one little cell also just outside of the area, kind of between here and Pine Bluff. We'll see what that does. That could bring a little downpour toward Mariana in the next little bit. Overnight tonight, there is a risk of some isolated thunderstorms. Most of us are dry tonight, but there could be one or two storms like we're seeing on the radar right now that manage to sneak in that could be a little bit on the heavier side. Really, most of the storms, though, today are going to be back off to our west. I think this forecast model has a really good handle on what's happening. Notice the main complex of storms back in Oklahoma and Texas, but one or two trying to pop up a little closer to us. So what we're going to watch for overnight tonight is, can any storms develop? I think we could see one or two in eastern Arkansas, and they could pack a little bit of a punch while we're sleeping. Maybe one or two good downpours with some thunder and lightning. But I think most of the storm activity is actually going to be north of us, up toward Jonesboro and the Missouri Boot Heel. They will probably see some storms tonight. I think for us in the Mid-South, that would include most of eastern Arkansas, West Tennessee, North Mississippi. I think tonight looks pretty dry. Tomorrow morning also starts off mostly dry, maybe a shower somewhere, but in general, the morning commute looks okay. It's going to be later in the day that those thunderstorms really start to make their way in, closer to lunchtime and then into the afternoon and the evening hours. So let's time it out here closer to home for tomorrow. Again, tonight, maybe an isolated storm, but I think in general, it's a calm and quiet night for most of us. Tomorrow morning looks okay, 9 a.m. still looking good. But once we get to lunchtime, we start to get some rain that comes in. This model actually says maybe some storms out ahead of the main complex. So these could be maybe even producing some hail and high wind gusts closer to lunchtime. And then that main line of storms comes in once we get closer to the evening hours. And that's going to be similar to what we saw Saturday, where we get that big line that comes in, heavy rain, high wind gust. It lasts 30, 45 minutes, and then it moves on. So that looks like probably in Memphis by about 5 p.m. tomorrow. We could have some storms before that, but the main line in Memphis by about 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. So right in time for the evening commute. 7 p.m., storms a little closer to Corinth. I think by 8 or 9, the storms are done tomorrow night. We'll be left with some light off and on showers, but the storms will end by 8 p.m. And then even the rain clears out overnight, leaving us looking pretty nice for Thursday. Storm threats still the biggest concern. Some gusty wind. Could have a couple of storms that produce wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour and some heavy rain. Hail threat and tornado threat tomorrow, they are low. I do not expect that to be a major concern in our part of the Mid-South, but the last couple of times we've had storms, we have had one rogue tornado warning that popped up. No touchdowns, but we had one Saturday, we had one Monday, at least the warning for those tornadoes. So again, it's something we can't completely rule out, but I think in general, the odds of a tornado or large hail are going to be pretty low. It does look like we're going to get some heavy rain in here, though, over the next 24 to 36 hours. Looks like maybe another 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, just depending on where you are. That could be enough, at least right around the evening commute tomorrow, to produce a little flooding on the roadways. So just give yourself a little extra time as you're leaving work to get home tomorrow. That's when we're probably going to have some pretty heavy rain across the Mid-South. I want to remind you, though, if we're not on TV, we are always streaming on ABC 24 on the app and ABC 24 Plus. So if you take out your phone's camera, open the camera and point it at that code right there on your screen, that QR code, that is going to take you to a link to download our app either for your cell phone or for your smart TV. It's totally free. You don't need a cable subscription. You don't need satellite. If you have one of those smart TVs, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Samsung, you can put our app on there. You can watch us all the time. We also have the live radar 24/7. So you can go on there and check the radar even if it's in the middle of the night and see what is going on. So again, the weather impact alert for tomorrow, showers and storms mainly in the afternoon and evening, but then we turn cooler. 59 with sunshine on Thursday. We'll stay sunny on Friday, back up to 69. So we do have nicer weather coming in later in the week. Just got to get through tomorrow and that weather impact alert. Again, I don't think this is a widespread severe weather situation. For most of us, you're going to get some heavy rain, you're going to get some thunder and lightning, you're going to get a couple of good wind gusts, and then it's going to move on. But there could be a few storms along that line that do turn severe, and that's when we could have the risk of damaging wind or maybe an isolated tornado. Again, that risk is very low. I don't want to get you too worked up, but it is something we'll be keeping an eye on. Thursday, like we said, cooler, 59. That is below average. Average is 62. We've been above average for a while. We'll be below that Thursday. 69, sunshine Friday. Saturday looks great. I know we've got St. Patrick's Day activities for a lot of us this weekend. Saturday looks great. Sunday, for the most part, I think is okay. Once we get to Sunday evening, a couple of showers move through. So we'll be watching that. It doesn't look like thunderstorms necessarily, but there could be some showers late Sunday evening or Sunday night as another cold front comes in. And then look at next week. 49 on Monday, 53 on Tuesday, sunny and dry. Look at your lows. 30s for your lows Monday morning and Tuesday morning. And that's where we are talking about the potential of that first frost, or last frost, I should say, of the winter season before we roll into spring. We're going to detail that and what you can do to prepare your plants coming up. We'll also take a check-in with the ABC 24 weather watchers and the regional forecast coming up after this.